Hi student, this is the last subchapter that you have to learn before we are ready to go to the groups of organic chemicals, which are carbohydrate, protein, lipid, and DNA. So the title of this video is Uniqueness of Carbon Atoms and Metabolism Reactions. So before we start with the uniqueness of carbon, I want to remind you the definition of organic molecules. Molecules that are typically consist of carbon atoms. Okay, now why carbon is the main constituent? Because carbon atom can form up to 4 covalent bonds, thus allowing a great diversity of compound to exist. So as you can see here, carbon has 4 electrons on its outer shell, so that's why it can make bonding, covalent bonding with electrons from other atoms up to 4 for connection. So as you can see from here, it means that the carbon share each of the electron with different atoms. Well, here it means that these two one carbon atoms shared 2 electrons with the same another carbon atom. So in the connection between these 2 atoms, they share 2 electrons at the same time. Well, here 1 at a time. All right. Well, this one triple bond, they also can share up to 3 electrons in one connection with the same atoms. So I hope you understand the uniqueness of carbon, why the backbone or the main constituent of organic molecule is carbon. Now let's talk about the definition of monomers and polymers before we go further to the carbohydrate, lipid, and friends. So it is a very important, there are 2 important terminologies that you have to know. So what is monomers and polymers? Now imagine that the elements atom are the Lego bricks. So just like this 1, 2, and 3. Now they can be assembled into a bigger and more complex structure, like structure number 2, structure number 1, and structure number 3, that is made of Lego bricks. And later those complex structures can combine even further to create even bigger and more complex structure. So now imagine if this one is put on the top of it, okay, and then number 3 will be put even further. As a result, you can have the Eiffel Tower, which is more complex. So using the analogy, I hope now you can get some idea. So the Lego bricks is like this one, the atoms, right? Atoms are the Lego bricks, and then they can be assembled into a complex molecule, but it's pretty small, right? So those are monomers. Monomers are smallest single subunit of each organic molecule groups. So for example, for the family of protein, the smallest subunit that has properties of protein is called amino acid, right? Which is the smallest subunit that can build big and large protein. So this monomer can be assembled to even more bigger and complex structure, the protein, the polymer. So polymer are large molecules that consist of 2 or more monomers. So the question is how the reaction that happen to create monomers to be polymers and vice versa. The answer is through metabolic pathway. What is metabolic pathway? Metabolic pathway is an enzyme catalyzed reaction in a cell or organism. Now, the metabolic pathway can be found in 2 types of form, which is chain reaction and cycle reaction. You will learn some simple chain reaction in this topic. However, for high level, just wait. One day you will learn this complex chain reaction called glycolysis and also the Krebs cycle in high level topics. All right. So as you can see in this reaction, the molecules are divided into smaller molecules, right? And also what happened here, right? Slowly but sure, this molecule are changed into different types of molecules, right? Now the total or all metabolic reaction in a living organism create a web of reaction called metabolism. So this is one of the sample of the map of metabolism. Don't get freaked out. You won't learn about it, all right? Don't worry. There are two types of, or two categories of metabolism. The first one is anabolism, synthesis of complex molecule, polymer from simpler molecules, right? So if you remember Anna from the Disney video, okay, Frozen. So she basically a very kind person, and she can build, okay, a big castle from water molecules. So you can say that she can build big complex molecules. So it's synthesis from synthesis of complex molecule, polymers from monomers. Just a tips to remember that. Anyway, the reaction that happens here is called condensation, because water is produced as the side product of reaction. So again, another tip to remember condensation reaction. So if you ever heard condensed milk, which is very thick, okay, because some of the water content has been withdrawn. So let's see the real reaction here, right? So this is one amino acid, and this is another amino acid, which is the monomer of protein. So the amino acid here has OH at the end, while this one has H on the other end of the other molecule here. So the OH and H will be withdrawn, and they will be combined as water. As a result, the C and N here will make bonding. Now they become a two monomer molecule, or called polymer. The opposite of that anabolic reaction is catabolism. Alright, so catabolism by definition is breaking down complex molecule polymers to simpler molecules or monomers. So you can see that catabolism is basically the opposite of anabolism. Now, the reaction also that happens is of course the opposite of condensation, which means it needs water molecule rather than produce water molecule as the side product. Now, the specific name for this reaction is called hydrolysis. Hydro means water, while lysis is splitting. Okay, the name comes from the reason, the definition of the hydrolysis, because water is used to break the molecule apart. So as you can see from here, this is the backwards of the first diagram. So in here they already become protein, right? The C and N has been bond. So when the water we have H plus and OH minus, right? So the nitrogen will be given hydrogen again, as you can see from here, and the carbon will be given OH, so that it will become like this again. Now they split. Alright, now if you can reverse the video, you can see this process is actually, this diagram is actually the opposite, totally opposite from the previous one. So you can see the previous one will have this on the top and this is at the bottom. I hope you understand about this and be excited. You are ready now to learn carbohydrate, lipid, protein, DNA in details. See you later.